I'm a mutilist abuser, be the #1 carapace user. My skirt's connection with the dropships, just like they do it in battle cruisers.
Welcome to NSL Season 7. Let's take a look at this season's map pool. Diamondback, Week 1. Diamondback is a 4-player map made for NSL7 by Nam Surikata. Endurance, Week 2. Endurance is a 2-player map made by KD Man in the Space tile set. Aquamarine, Week 3. Aquamarine is a 4-player map made by TNW Zombie. Terraform, Week 4. Terraform is a 4-player map made by SC Spider, Hyojin, Gnome Surikata, and JoJo. This is an NSL Classic Remake map. Odd Eye, Week 5. Odd Eye is a 2-player map made by Cygnus, Gnome Surikata. August Grab, Week 6. August Grab is a 4-player map made by Nam Cookie Master and is an NSL Classic Remake map. Neo Jungle Story, Week 7. Neo Jungle Story is a 4-player map made by JoJo, an NSL Classic map maker. High Noon, Week 8. High Noon is a 2-player map made by Nam Surikata on the Desert Teal set. Struggle, Week 9. Struggle is a 4-player map made by KM on the Jungle Teal set. Typology, Week 10. Typology is a 2-player map made by Freakling on the Desert Teal set. Now that you've seen the maps, let's check out the teams. Team Cavadogs. Team Chonky Cheesers. Team Lord of the Lings. Team Aaron Force 1. Team Semi-Sweet Cookie Fleet. Team Baked Potatoes. Welcome to NSL Season 7.
NSL.
All right, hello. How are you? Welcome again to more NSL7 Tier 3. We have, I think, a pretty hyped cast coming up tonight. We have the Chonky Cheesers, led by none other than Escalade, and we also have the Baked Potatoes, which is a new team with new team captains in NSL, led by Memnon and Vile Potato. Both of the coaches in Baked Potatoes are excellent players in their own right. Memnon is a very solid, very clean Protoss player, and Vile, of course, very been around NSL for a while, and I believe CPL as well. Also taught me a lot when I first started playing in CPL and NSL. Just uh, a very, very knowledgeable, all-around knowledgeable coach. So we have Escalade's team and Vile's team going head to head today. This is the tier 3. That's right. This is the I don't know, in some ways I think this is like the fun tier, like the funnest tier. This is you see, I mean, every game I've casted in this tier has just been it's just been so much fun to watch and so entertaining. So I'm really looking forward to these to this series tonight. I hope you are too. Um, I do believe AK could be joining me, but if not, that's totally cool. I will fly solo as well. Um, First up, we have a TVZ. Map is still August grad, by the way. I forgot to say that. This is week 6, and week 6 map is August grad. First up today, I believe we have a Rice Hat, Terran for the Chonky Cheesers, and we have AZK, a Zerg for the Baked Potatoes. And we'll go into the casting game here so you can kind of take a look at the map we're looking at today, at least a preview of the mini map. So August Grad is a 4-player map. It's kind of a unique. On the surface, it looks like a very okay, it's a 4-player map. It's got an open center. It's got some high ground and stuff. Okay, it's got some interesting pathing, interesting topology. One of the interesting things about this map is the bases. This area where you mine the minerals at in the corners, these are all elevated on high ground, and they're very small areas. Like you can fit your command center and maybe a couple buildings up there, and that's it. They're very small areas. And of course, the which means that you're building most of your base on the low ground, except look at the low ground is all pretty narrow strips. So this is the base layout of this is already kind of just different, right? Usually in bases you see a lot more open space, and then a natural with some open space, and then a third with some open space. This is sort of like just narrow strips with some mineral patches. There is an in-base third mineral patch here, but this is very small. This is I think maybe 4 patches. So on the surface it looks like it's a healthy third, but in reality it's kind of skimping on the minerals in terms of a third base. So it's interesting. And of course the cute NSL7 logos. This map is a nom staple as I understand it. This and I think maybe one other map are nom staples, at least to my understanding. So, but you know what? That aside, the weirdness aside, it is otherwise a pretty typical 4-player map, I would say. Apart from the weird base layout, nothing too crazy here. Except there are animals. There are animals that you can one shot with a worker. Lampshade, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoy the stream. Always good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for the support and the love. Hope you enjoy the cast. We're just about to get into the first game. So, yeah, otherwise, obviously, the center, just like in chess, the center is definitely an important place of strategic focus in a lot of these maps, and August Grad is no different. It has a high ground center. So, but apart from the weird bases, it's not that out there. So that's the map we're going to be featuring week 6. So let's go ahead and get into the game. This is going to be Rice Hat versus AZK, a TVZ. And we're going to get into game 1. Make sure my levels and everything are all right. They look okay. Okay. We're going to get into game 1 here without further ado. right, in the bottom left corner of August Grad, the Nom signature, it is our Blue Terran Rice Hat playing for the Chonky Cheesers. And in the bottom right, it is our Red Zerg AZK playing for the Baked Potatoes. And we'll see what each player decides to do. So as you can see, like here, like this is here's the ramp for the bottom left. Here's the ramp for the bottom right. As you can see, this is not a lot of buildable area in here, and you have a ramp that you know, it's a nice defendable ramp. I will say that. So, but yeah, not much space to build more than maybe a couple buildings here and mine. Of course, AZK is going out to scout, and looks like maybe going for an overpool. No, maybe going for 11 hatch or a 12 hatch. So it looks like AZK is going for a hatch first play. Rice Hat just doing normal Terran things, getting a I believe that was an 11. I believe that was an 11 barracks. And of course, sending the SCV out to scout. The Zerg also sending the drone out to scout. And of course, here's one of the critters, 2 HP. So it looks like AZK is gonna scout Rice Hat first. And I think is Rice Hat. Yeah, Rice Hat's gonna send another SCV out to double scout. I like this move. I don't see Terrans do this very often, but I like the double scout move. You do scout their location in a reasonable time with this on a 4-player. Of course, we have Marines out already, and AZK getting the 3-minute layer. Rice Hat does see what's going on. Obviously, AZK is focusing more on drones than lings, so we only have a couple right now. And he does get the SCV kill there. Okay, this is an interesting spot for a bunker. I don't dislike this. You can catch lings there that are trying to come into the main from here. Building a second barracks. So it looks like Rice Hat going for a pretty typical bio TVZ here. And the Zerg is sending lings over. That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that 2 of them died, but we are trying to kill some SCVs with these Zerglings. I don't know how much more we're going to get because the Marines have been unloaded. And, yep, that does get cleaned up pretty quickly. As a follow-up, it looks like Zerg is going into Muta, which is... I presume they're going to be building a third hatch, I would hope, but if not, they could be doing 2-hatch Muta. Muta is a nice strong follow-up. Oh, nice. So we got some suck-ins for defense here. Muta is a nice strong build against bio, especially if you know how to handle your mutas and how to micro them and keep them compacted. Very, very strong against bio. And Zerg is taking a third base, kind of in a somewhat cheeky location here at the top right natural, but not too bad. It's not like it's a cross spawn base, but yeah, I agree. Just because of the narrow strips of terrain that you have to build your base on, I agree. I think mutas are a good call on this map. It's very easy to get good angles and do damage. It looks like we're kind of gathering more mutas here, and we're getting ready to stage an attack. Here we go. This looks like 6 mutas with a few more on the way, but this army is not together, so 7 mutas on this many Marines is a threat. 1 is not. There we go. Now we're getting the mutas clumped together nicely. Looks like it's 8 or 9 of them. Yeah, it looks like we're getting 9 together. So once these are going to be clumped together, I would assume they're going to eventually find a safe spot to fly over. Yep. Trying to get a good angle. There you go, picking off 1 Marine. Nice job, though. Bio already killed, I think, like 2 mutas there. Nice micro. Medics are doing some work keeping a few of these alive, but a lot of bio picked off. We do have turrets, though, placed nicely. And we've lost 3 mutas in all of that. But as you can see, Terran is starting to go up to their 5 racks.
Hey there, what's up, Breeze? Sorry I'm late, man.
Oh, you're good. Thank you for dropping by. How are you?
Good. I got stuck in an hour-long TVT. Literally. I finally got the Battle Cruisers and won. It was just like one of those long, grueling games.
Yeah.
I was about to leave, but I was like, I've been in it this long. I might as well stick it out. Oh my gosh, it was... I don't think it was worth it. I should have just left. But whatever. I'm watching the stream right now, so... Is this game 1 of Rice Hat versus AZK?
Yes, it is game 1. And
okay.
Okay,
oh,
so
August grad. Nice. Okay,
so,
sorry.
So we do have 5 I can't talk. 5 barracks producing. And it looks like Rice Hat maybe wanting to start to go for a push. He is destroying this bunker, trying to give his units some room to move out. We do have some tanks. I really feel like yeah, between the stim on the bio and the turrets, I don't think these mutas are going to get much more damage in. Very good job holding on from Rice Hat here. He did take some hits from the bio, but this wasn't enough to stop him at all. And these mutas are just getting ripped to shreds now with the stim. And we do have these tanks coming out. It looks like we're going to have a counter push. This is a pretty strong counter push if you ever go bio, is to just, build some tanks and stuff with them. So I'm really liking Rice Hat's build here. Just a really kind of nice, nice job defending and a nice damage dealing counterattack here. It looks like I think with the tanks he's going to be able to rip through this, frankly. And AK, I don't know if you're reading the chat, but the moment you stepped on the mic, we had Lampshade pop in here, and well, let's just say Lampshade is very happy to hear your voice.
Oh, yeah. What an awesome guy, man. What an OG, man. He's been around for a long time and really good guy. Gotta love Lamb Shady. Good old Slim Shady, man.
Of course, tanks are sieging up.
This looks like the push that's gonna be trying to kill the Zerg before Defiler Tech comes out. And he's kind of right on top of the Zerg. Sunken's already. He could probably even just push without the tanks, honestly. But
Yeah,
there
but
he goes.
Yep, there you go, GG.
Wow,
That
right
was
on.
very just a nice game one, I would say, from Terran. And I will say that from AZK, I was very impressed with the Muta Micro and the Muta Harassment.
Very nice.
It was like, you know, in this tier, it varies the player's strengths and weaknesses, but that's some pretty solid Muta Micro, I would say.
It looked pretty good from what I came in to see. I was able to see a little bit of it, so it was pretty nice. It looked like he just needed to buy himself a little bit more time to stop that push, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great mid game counter push though. If you can survive with bio, very good call from Rice Hat there on that one.
yeah, that was nice to see.
Fake Promise, thank you for the follow.
Oh, good old Fake Promise in the house. Very nice. We just had some practice games.
Nice. Welcome to the chat, and thank you for supporting NSL.
Hard fake.
All right, so one point on the board for Rice Hat for the Chonky Cheesers, and it looks like for the second game we're going into Diamondback.
Here we go. Let me jump right in.
All right. Are you ready, my friend?
Alrighty, sure.
All right. We
This
have.
must be week 6 again since we're starting on August grad.
Yep. This is another week 6 series.
The baked taters versus the chunky cheesers. Nice. Okay. Very cool.
I agree. I love me some cheesy taters.
Once again, we have Diamondback. Very,
Yep.
very popular choice as we're seeing more and more.
Yeah. This is again, it's just a very kind of nice, safe 4-player map. Nothing too crazy here. Just. All right. In the top right, we have our red Zerg, AZK, playing for the baked potatoes. And in the bottom right, we have our blue Terran Rice Hat playing for the Chonky Cheesers.
All right.
Oh, that sounds good. Double baked cheesy taters.
So yeah, it was unfortunate I had to miss the openers from last game, but I wasn't really able to tell what build they did in the start of the game, but seemed like they eventually made their way to bio versus muta play.
Um,
And I don't know
it
if he did like a 2-hatch or a 3-hatch opener.
he did a hatch first opener.
Okay.
The Zerg.
Okay. Right on. Well, I guess we'll see what he chooses to do this time. Looks like the Overlord won't be getting the first scout, unfortunately, but, you know, not that big a deal. We have a 8 racks getting thrown down from Terran here. Look out.
A very forward 8 racks, I feel like, too.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of tending to be more popular. It's nice to do it at your wall. Sometimes you even see it in the middle of the map to even get it a little bit further up. But this
Mhm.
is definitely going to be like a bunker rush type of play here. Usually against the Zerg that goes like 12 hatch, which it looks like he's actually doing. So this is going to play right into the hand of Rice Hat here. But it doesn't mean it's necessarily over. It's not really a hard counter necessarily, but it is going to make it harder for the 12 hatch player to deal with. So we'll see how AZK is able to deal against this 8 racks pressure once he gets going. Usually he'll push out with 3 Marines, but we'll see what Rice Hat does.
Looks like both players. So Terran is going to get the first scout. I would say. I know. Maybe the second scout. Actually, I think this was.
Right,
I
with
think
8
this went out
racks, you kind
first.
of just scout with 2 SCVs immediately since you have them both at the wall and they finish at similar timings. And
Okay.
then you pretty much go here for the bunker rush, which I imagine he'll be doing very, very shortly, especially after spotting the 12 hatch.
What
So
what would you do if it wasn't a 12 hatch and the bunker rush wasn't a good play? Would you just kind of build a
you'd have
CC?
to yeah, you'd have to just go back home. If you tried to attempt the bunker rush, then all of a sudden you'd have your Marines out in the open against the faster lings, and it wouldn't really be as effective. So, but here Rice Hat's
Here you
being
go.
super, super careful, putting that bunker a little bit further away from the hatch, kind of building the second one just in case he doesn't get it down. But AZK almost gets on top of these Marines, and they're not getting inside the bunker. Oh, they almost did it. Wow, he almost stopped those Marines, but still this bunker actually is not being too effective. It is getting a few drone kills. But so far AZK I think
Oh,
hasn't lost too many
here we
drones, although
go.
the bunker does get down, and now all of a sudden this
Nice.
is going to be a lot of pressure for Zerg to deal with, and
And
those Zerglings morphing right on top of the bunker, unfortunately.
yep, and so he is going to try and build a creep colony, but I think it's too little too late, and the Zerglings just get melted.
Well, you know, if AZK actually is he can be a little bit patient here. That Sunken can actually outrange the bunker. So it can finish, and then he's got to send those lings in to attack, and he just might clear this bunker since there's only one SCV there to help repair. Let's see if he's able to do it. That hatchery is definitely going to take a lot of damage, but oh, unfortunately that Sunken is 1 pixel too close to the bunker, and
Oh,
it is taking
man.
damage, but it kills the bunker. The Marine's still going to go for it and try to take it down, but AZK saves it somehow. That was a nice hold from AZK, man. Oh, no,
Wow.
wait. No, he's going to tap.
What?
Why? Oh, my God, he tapped out. Oh, I don't know if he had to do that. I thought that was a pretty successful hold, man. Terran didn't have a whole lot of Marines back at home either. If he just had gone for like a speedling all in, that actually could have been a nice follow-up considering this gravel on the right side of the right side of the natural that you can sneak by, but I don't blame him for tapping out. It could be very frustrating to deal with.
Yeah.
However, I thought he did a fairly good job of holding that off overall, so.
I agree, and it's like you called it. You know, the Sunken was able to take down the bunker and clean up the Marines. It was actually a really good defense.
Yeah, no kidding, man. He needed to repair that bunker if he was planning on fighting against the Sunken with at least 2 SCVs. So, nice
Yeah,
game though, however. Quick
nice
series.
game. Yeah, that is StarCraft sometimes.
No
Two
kidding, right?
2-0 on the board for the Chunky Cheesers.
I mean, that's how we gotta learn is taking those tough losses, right? But I'm sure AZK will be better at that in the future. So, I mean, I thought he did a pretty good job already. So,
I agree. Yeah, I think he held that a lot better than I thought he would.
yeah, he did lose. I mean, 3 drones at the high level is kind of the magic number that you want to be killing when you're going 8 racks to kind of put yourself ahead of the Zerg. But you know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's game over. Even if you do lose that many drones, you just have to, you won't have any sharp timings. You got to kind of count on playing defensive for a little while or going all in or something like that. But
Sure.
anyhow, great game, I think, from both players. Could have gone either way.
All right, and we're going into game 2. This is going to be Night Dad versus Sappho. Night Dad
All
playing
right.
for Chonky Cheesers.
Okay, very cool.
And it's going to be a ZVT.
Sapo here. Sapo? I always mispronounce their name, but I did get a few chances to practice with Sapo as he first came to Nam, so glad to see he's playing Terran. I think he recently switched to Zerg, but hopefully we get to see some ZVT, which it looks like they are signed up as, so always happy to see again.
Yep. And we're going back to August Grad, of course. All right, are you ready, my friend? I'm ready.
Alrighty. Hopping into the second set of the series already of the night. Who's going to be taking it down? Looks like Chonky Cheeser's taking that one right away. Let's see if the baked potatoes can make a comeback.
All right, in the top left, sorry, in the top right, we have our red Zerg, Dogfart, playing for the Chonky Cheesers, also known as Night Dad.
Okay. That's pretty much Night Dad, but I mean, a little bit of a variation. Close enough, right?
Right.
I mean, to add to the chonky cheese, you gotta cheese up your name even. This is next level mind games going on here. I love it.
And in the bottom right, our blue Terran playing for the baked taters, the baked potatoes. It is Sappho. And already building our supply depot right at the natural.
Okay, going for that nice wall, and this is kind of the wall I was talking about the other day, actually, where it works out perfectly with 2 depots and a barracks, and the Marine will spawn on the inside of the wall, so that I do like the Sim City from Sapo. And we'll see what the Zerg is actually going to be doing this time. Looks like he might be going for the 12 hatch. Seeing as there's no pool yet, here comes the drone right on perfect timing to make that. Oh, he might have been going for a little bit faster variation 11 hatch, actually, which you kind of see the pros doing these days. So that's going to be a slightly faster, you know, a little bit less drones, but you'll be able to make that up in no time. And yeah, I do like this wall though. It should work out pretty well. We'll see if Safo is planning on going into a bio play or not. Going to be getting the first scout from both players. Really nice. And the Overlord's going to be in nice position right here outside the wall. See what's going on. Even Dogfart sending that drone scout in to see. I can't say that name seriously. I try it here with a straight face, but
It's a challenge.
I love that. I love that, man. Throwing the casters off. Oh, that's too good. And yeah, we're gonna be doing a 2 hatchery play from the Zerg, getting that second gas or that first gas right before the 3rd hatchery. So that's gonna be 2 hatchery. And then the Overlord coming to scout inside the main of Terran just to verify that he has no gas, just to make sure he's not going for like an early mech or 1-1-1 type of play. But this Overlord definitely needs to get out of there as quick as he can. He's going to be susceptible to getting lots of damage and maybe even dying from this one Marine. Looks like Sapo going to be throwing down this 2 racks. Probably going to be going into the 2 racks academy style. Meanwhile, back at home, Zerg morphs 6 Zerglings here. And versus the wall, I actually like this position for Terran. Seeing as those 6 Zerglings won't really be able to get in and do too much damage. However, he could force Sapo to have to repair on that wall a little bit. So Sapo being extra careful, going to be throwing down that bunker right inside the wall just to make sure he won't be dying to any kind of laying all-ins. But a nice job from Night Dad taking out that scouting SCV, getting a nice fast lair, and ought to be throwing down his tech very shortly. We'll see what he's planning on going into. There's the academy. So yeah, 2 racks academy from Sapo.
What is why is this opener so popular?
It's very, I would say, just it's very optimized for dealing against the 2 hatchery play, because back in the day Zergs used to go for like 3 hatchery before even getting that lair, even before getting that gas, right? And so the new meta started to make a shift towards 2 hatchery, which was more catered to a very fast Spire and very fast Muta play. And all of a sudden, the old style that Terran used to play wouldn't really work well against this very fast Spire. So they came up with the 2 racks academy in order to deal with the fast Mutalisks, because you really need stim and range both in order to assert map control against the mutas. Otherwise, if you don't have stim and range, you're just going to be forced to stay by your turrets inside. You can't really move out against the mutas. They'll just pick you off. So this is why the 2 racks academy is so popular against the 2 hatchery style player.
And it looks like the Zerg is indeed going to go for mutas. It looked like that right around when the Spire was about 50-60% is when we saw the second gas go down, which I do know that if you have 2 hats, you need 2 gas for good muta play. And
you can. You definitely can. It definitely points to like heavy mutas, like you said. It looks like he's going to be going really heavy mutas, probably even before taking that 3rd. But Dogfar actually making a slight variation and not popping those mutas right away, which is a little bit actually a huge variation in this 2 hatchery play. He's throwing down a macro hatch at the natural and a 3rd on location, just to fake Terran out that he made the mutas, and he actually didn't make the mutas. So this is kind of a mind trick type of play that Night Dad's trying to pull off here. Let's see if he can survive this 8 Marine medic push out, though. This can definitely do some damage. It's actually 9 Marines, but he is morphing those Sunkens, trying to get them up as fast as possible. It looks like he might be able to, but it's so close, man, and he only has the one
there you
unit,
go.
so
You got
really
one
has to buy
up.
himself time. There's the one. Wow, that couldn't have been any closer, man. That was almost too close for comfort, but he gets it down in time. And the fact, I don't think Terran knows that there's this 6 or the 12 o'clock location. Had he known, he could have gone right away and sniped it, seeing as there's no really any attack units for Zerg out on the map, so he's kind of free to roam around. But he's in the back of his mind, he's kind of thinking that there is mutas or something, because he scanned the tech, I imagine, and so that's why maybe he's being a little bit careful here, and he's definitely setting up turrets. Like, Night Dad's little mind game kind of paid off. He forced a lot of turrets out of Terran, and was able to come up with defense at the natural to hold. So I do like this position for Zerg right now. But we'll see. It's definitely not over yet. There's plenty of options for Terran. If Terran gets out and is able to scout that expo from Zerg, it's just wide open. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, Zerg looking to go into crazy Zerg. Behind this, getting the fast hive or the fast queen's nest with the Evo chamber. And let's see if he starts his upgrades. He should be starting Carapace here right away. And getting that hive, yeah, it goes right into the hive at 8 minutes. So we'll just see. Starting to put Terran on the timer. It looks like he probably will be going into Ultralisk tech very quickly as soon as that hive finishes, I imagine. And we'll see what Sapo can do.
I think that's a good read because he's going for the Carapace upgrade while he's getting
There it
the hive.
is. Nice. There it is. Perfect. Yep, getting that Carapace upgrade with the chitinous plating from the Ultralisk Cavern will cause those Ultras to pop with 3 armor once they both finish. So that's kind of the goal of getting into those fast Ultras. And then you kind of follow it up with Cracklings, seeing as Cracklings will do the majority of the damage. But here comes the bio. Maybe they're going to scout this 12 o'clock location. Dogfart
Oh.
trying to get those Sunkens down in
My
time, but
gosh.
Sapo, get up there. Didn't quite go, man. Those Sunkens still are not done. Oh, please go up. Please go up there.
Oh my gosh. Oh, he
Go
just
up there.
scanned it.
There we go. There we go. There we go. He's still got time.
Wow.
Yes. Damn it. Yeah. Oh.
Wow.
Another close call, but this time going to be going in favor of the Terran, man.
That was so
Wow.
clutch.
That was clutch, man. This is going to be a very nice move for Terran, keeping the Zerg off of 3 gas. I mean, already Zerg has a nice gas bank, though. Banking up that gas, not making any Mutalisks, just saving that gas. So losing this third isn't necessarily game over. Like, Zerg has plenty of gas and 3 hatcheries. So this is not over by any means. Let's see what happens, though. Taking down that third, really nice for Terran. Sapo definitely got to be feeling pretty good about that. And it looks like Sapo doing a pretty decent job of continuous upgrades on 2. eBay here, +1 attack already done. Looks like +2 attack on the way. He ought to be starting that +1 armor as well. And getting the 2-port follow-up. 2-port vessels is really what you need to fight against crazy Zerg. And you really need like 8 to 10 barracks, man. 8's kind of on the conservative side. You need so much bio to actually deal with those once they come out. But it looks like Night Dad actually throwing down some lurker aspect as well as the Defiler mount, so he's not going to be going straight into Crazy Zerg. Actually wants to have some lurkers with this Ultralisk push,
Well,
which could definitely do a lot of damage. So
well, look at all this bio. I mean, I would want lurkers too.
it is a lot of bio. I feel like you definitely need something here to deal with all this bio for sure. So the nice thing is, though, if he nailed his Carapace timing, we'll see. It's just about done. And I don't think he researched the chitinous. Oh, he is researching the chitinous plating.
Oh my, nice. He gets an
Ooh,
irradiate
yeah,
down.
nice irradiate.
And another one.
Ultralisk getting stuck in the mineral line.
Wow.
Almost a bonus. But nice job keeping it out of the drones. But Sapo's actually going to send it into these Sunkens. I don't know if this is going to be the play. This is kind of what Zerg wants to do. But, Zerg's
my
gonna
gosh.
tap out, man.
That's SimCity. Oh.
Yeah, he trapped his Ultralisks in. That's really unfortunate. But
that SimCity just totally screwed Zerg.
Man, right? I hate to see that, right?
Oh. Yeah, that's
just before that chitinous plating finished too, there was like a quarter of the way done. But nice timing from Terran and GG.
GG indeed. All right, let's put a point on the board for the baked potatoes. Nice, Sappho getting the team in the game here.
Yeah, really nicely navigated there. And the OG Black Swan in the house as well, man. This guy's been around for a while too. Very Gosu Korean player. Got to watch out for him in the NSL tournament. He's been doing pretty well so far from the games I've seen. Very nice to see Black Swan, especially after he had a hand injury, which looked very, very rough. So nice to see that hopefully he's recovering and able to kind of at least make it back to the game a little bit. So very nice to see. Hope your hand's doing well, Black Swan.
All right. I have no idea how this game is going to go.
Yeah, no kidding, right? I mean, that was I feel like pretty nice matchup there from Night Dad. I think he tried to get away with cut some corners by a little bit, but almost got away with it. However, nice shutdown from Sapo there, spotting that third base at 12 o'clock.
Yeah, and um I think that despite Zerg losing the 12 o'clock base, I really think that, I mean, Night Dad had like 6 Ultralisks out and hatched. Despite having 2 of them irradiated, he had like 6 of them hatched by the time that attack hit. So it's like, oh man.
I know, and if that chitinous plating had finished, then he would have had three carapace versus the Terran 0 armor, and +2 was attack was only on the way and a long way from finishing. So there's still timing where I think he could have actually got a lot of damage done on the Terran, but
Absolutely.
unfortunately, just didn't work out that game. So
And you know what? That happens a lot in StarCraft where, you are your biggest enemy.
right, no kidding, man. You're very right there. Actually, in a lot of cases, that is the issue for sure.
All right. We are going on to Odd Eye for game 2. This is Night Dad's pick.
Oh, okay. Looks like he liked week 4 or whatever that one was with the odd eye as the starting map. Nice little 2-player map.
We have Safo for the for the baked potatoes in the top left, our blue Terran. And in the bottom right, we have our red Zerg Dog Fart, also known as Night Dad, playing for the Chonky Cheesers.
Okay. Sapo looking to take that 2-0, get those 2 points for Chonky Cheesers. Let's see if Night Dad, aka Dog Fart here, is able to get a point for his team at least, and maybe even make the reverse sweep. Perhaps it's definitely a possibility. Ooh, let's see though. We have no Overlord here from Zerg. Looks like he might be planning on going for a 9 pool or a 9 hatch, actually. Gonna be
Wow.
throwing down the 9 hatchery. Really
That,
fast hatchery.
wow.
And this can definitely cater to a speed lane type of play. Let's see if that's actually going to be his plan moving forward here. It's definitely a really hard play for Terran to deal with if they're not ready for it. I do kind of like that decision making though from a Night Dad to switch it up, and let's see what he decides to do from here. Yeah, he's going to be doing the 9-8-7 gas, I believe. Going to be a really fast speedling all in here. Well, it doesn't have to be all in. Very fast speedling attack here from a Night Dad. And I
Oh.
imagine he'll be mining like 100 gas and then pulling the drones back off in order to afford this type of play. So very kind of cool to see.
Terran is gonna scout the 9 hatch.
Okay. And now we'll see if he's actually able to identify, because coming in and just scouting it at first look, it can appear to be exactly like a 2 hatch. You just have to look at the HP on the natural hatchery. It'll be much higher than normal, seeing as it was quite a bit faster. But I think a lot of Terran aren't as familiar with this build, so he might not even actually know, even though he did scout it So here comes the six lings getting morphed. Actually, we'll have the extra larva right at the natural too for, yep, there's another Zergling. And speed should be started right away. And this is going to be very hard for Terran to deal with, man. He's going to have like one Marine here with the barracks so far up in the main. And that's going to be a long distance for those Marines to travel to get to the natural. Oh, here comes the sixlings already. I think he should just send those, not chase that SEV. But he's going to be chasing that SEV. Maybe he just wants to take it down right away, and he does. And let's see, Speedling there. He started speed a little bit late, but he can still make it happen. Here comes lots of lings across the map. Sapo knows he better throw down a bunker, and he does. Let's see if he can come up with the stop. There's only one Marine in this bunker, so it could easily go down if Sapo's not on top of his repair, which he 100% needs to be. Let's see what happens. Gonna be throwing down a nice little SimCity block with the Academy, although there's two holes that the Lynx can run by still. He's probably gonna wait for speed to finish and then jump right on that bunker while continuing. He's still making Lings back at home. This is gonna be a huge Ling attack. He's seconds away from pulling the trigger. I can feel the heat coming. A third Marine popping in that bunker. A fourth looking to get down there in time. Let's see if Night Dad is able to bust this bunker. He might just wait for another control group of Lings. Speedling is done though. This is his timing to move. Oh, he might even be using the Overlord to pull these Marines out of the bunker. And they're out of position.
Oh my gosh!
Here comes the Speedlings.
Oh!
Oh! Yeah, get in there and bust that
Oh.
bunker, man. Oh, he's trying to run past it, but the SCVs actually did a nice job of body blocking it, man. He should have just attacked the bunker. It definitely would have gone down, but he had it surrounded. But unfortunately, that's not what happened, and now this is actually looking good for Sapo, man. He might have actually just done it. It's not over yet. He still needs to hold on. There is another round of Speedlings coming here. Let's see if Night Dad's actually able to get in there. The Marines aren't in the bunker. Stim is not even close to being finished. There is still a timing here, but there's a decent amount of Marines there. They go inside the bunker. I would use those Marines to help block those holes. But here we go with another attack.
Got an eBay building down on the south end. Again, more SimCity trying to protect the natural. Man, this is a tough spot for Zerg.
Here we go. Can he get on top of the bunker? It might just go down. Only one SCV repairing, but lots of Marines in the medic there, and he looks like a hold. Wow. What a game, man. GG. Nice
What a
hold
hold.
from Sapo. Super nice hold from Sapo. Well done. Wow, man. I was scared in there for a second, man, when he pulled those Marines out to. Oh, that's such a bait move. You gotta know that's a bait move when they offer up that Overlord. Never go for that Overlord unless you scout with the SCV. And yeah. But nice job. He still was able to pull it off.
I agree.
Very cool.
All right. Wow, what a series. So far, like, that series, it was very close to going either way.
Seriously, man. Sapo got in that bunker like the second. There was no time to spare, man. He had no time to spare, and those Lings would have just busted that bunker 100%. But I think he did a fantastic job of blocking with those body blocking with those SCVs, and it just worked out this time for the Terran. Nice SimCity, well executed from Sapo.
I think there was a slight miscalculation there from the Zerg, because there were points where those Zerglings had, while they were moving, they were in excellent positions to pick off Marines and get good surrounds.
They were.
And I think that there was a miscalculation in just moving them and not microing them.
Yeah, I think he just needed to even almost attack move even, and maybe would have got more damage there. But it looked like he really, really wanted to run up that ramp. So
Yeah.
unfortunately didn't get it.
That happens.
Very good try, though. Very good try.
I agree. All right, and without any time to lose, we are into the third game, the third series and final series of the night. And AK, I think you're gonna be in for a treat with this one,
Oh,
based on the intro you gave me at the beginning of the cast.
oh snap! Oh snap!
It is going to be Mick Terran,
Oh,
a Terran
okay.
versus Disattack.
Oh, TBT, man. Legendary Terrans. Both of these guys are legends, man. Looking forward to that 100%. Let's see if they get stuck into the hour-long TBT that I did right before the cast.
I was just thinking
Oh
that.
my gosh,
Uh,
those games are the worst, man. I'm not even gonna lie and say that it was fun because no, it was horrible. Like even though I knew I was gonna win, I should have just left because, my God,
that
what's
You know what? I've heard so many people say that they can't stand TVT.
I
Ah,
generally like the matchup overall until you get into those stalemates where you just both can't kill each other. You both have kind of made a move at each other and thrown some units, and now all of a sudden you just have to play defensive and go for the hour-long TBT, like, or just leave, or go for an all-in and hope it works, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, right? But us Terrans get so stubborn, we're like, nah, I'm not leaving. I'm sticking in this game forever until this map mine's out. I'm not leaving.
that's right. I'm getting my win. I'm not leaving.
That's right, man. That's grueling, I tell you. So hopefully,
Lampshade,
maybe none of that.
Lampshade, also looking forward to the TVT.
Ah, yeah, a little bit of sarcasm in there. I love it. But yeah,
Oh
yeah, I
man.
feel that for sure.
Well, you never know, because we had some TVTs last night that were, or last was it last week
Mm,
even? They were really quick.
okay. Yeah, actually, they were really quick. I do remember those with you. They were surprisingly quick for TVT.
So we'll see what
And they can
happens.
just end like that too. Like as you said before, in those mirrors, when if you're going like Vulture versus Vulture, or you know Goliath versus Goliath, and all of a sudden you lose one, and then you could be put you right in the losing streak. So
Yeah.
we'll see if anything like that happens in the early game. I would like to see some Vulture War since that's kind of my favorite approach, but there's plenty of options here on this August grad map.
I agree. All right.
I'm actually I would predict like a two-port Wraith, but the main's almost so small that you maybe can't even fit two starports in the main. I don't know. I think maybe you can, but
O-
it's definitely very small. So
Okay, so in the top left corner of August Grad, we have
um,
our Red Terran playing for the Chonky Cheesers. It is Mick Terran.
okay.
And in the bottom right, playing for the Baked Potatoes, we have our Red Terran. It is Disattack.
The red versus red.
Okay, I'm gonna change the colors.
It's so true.
I just,
I,
I
I
had to
wondered
do
if
it.
you're gonna do that or not. I was waiting for it. It's too good for you. Too good. I love it, man. Looks like Disattack wanting to go for that wall at the natural right away. Is it going to be a barracks or supply depot? Actually, could be thrown down a barracks. Okay, but it's a supply depot.
Oh yeah,
So yeah,
again,
just going for that wall. He might even go for like a gasless expansion. We'll see, which is very viable on a four-player map. Absolutely. We'll see what he decides to do though. Too early to tell as of yet. But both these Terrans, though, very strong, man. Meek been a part of Nam for quite some time. Nice to see him still around, getting better and better. And here we are again in NSL, and this attack also been around for a while. And he's been in CPL and NSL and all those different leagues too. So cool to see these two guys go head to head. Looks like both players gonna be throwing down that gas, not be going for a gasless expansion or anything like that. Pretty standard so far, it looks like.
I like that Mick Terran kind of did a slightly more optimized and quicker gas by doing 10-10.
Oh, okay, nice catch, bro. I actually didn't even notice that. Very well done. Yeah, he will have a super fast factory in that case. A little bit less economy, but definitely going to be having the faster factory, which can be punished. If he gets out there, it's going to come down to some micro for sure, but oh, let's see what happens though. With the wall at the natural, it might actually shut down any early game punishment from this fast factory. However, Meek Terran might actually decide to go into like a starport play after the factory, or he might even just choose to stay on a 2 factory or even go for an expo. So we'll see what he decides to do here. So far, still mining gas. So that kind of points to going for a second factory soon or waiting for the starports. So we'll actually see what he decides to do. Still a bit early to tell. Disitac pulling 2 SCVs off to get that factory expansion, which is very standard for TVT. And Meek Terran going to be blocking the ramp to deny any scouting info into this very small main. Oh, but the SCV slides in. Somehow there's a gap there. It didn't even look like there was, but there must have been.
There was just enough. That SCV is so slick.
It had some grease on it, I think. It slid right by those Marines, man. That was like a Love Snow vulture. Love Snow says he spits on his vultures before he sends them in. Get them nice and slippery.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, man. But Meek, actually, this is a different kind of style. Actually, not going to be going for 2 factory or starport, but he's going to be going for a tank marine push. This is something I don't see as often, but definitely can be very, very hard to deal with. I imagine he'll be getting siege mode as he moves out. And okay, there is a second factory, but this is going to be a heavy marine tank kind of push. Let's see what damage he can get done. So far, Disitac going to be going for the Speed Vulture off of a 1 add-on, and I didn't quite see if he made the. I think it was just 1 Vulture, and then he made an add-on, or he might have made an add-on immediately to get that super fast speed upgrade, which it is pretty far along. So might have just done the immediate add-on.
I think so. I feel like that vulture is kind of late. The first vulture.
It was a little bit late. He's not going to be able to get out here and scout this second factory, and he's still using the barracks as a wall, so he's not going to really have the scouting information to see this push coming, and it's just going to arrive right on his doorstep. Unfortunately, not the position I think he wants to deal with this push. However, he will have some speed vultures, so if he somehow gets out there and catches some of these Marines as they're coming in, he might be able to stop some. But Meek Terran throw down a bunker. Oh, this is starting to look kind of scary for Disitac. Speed vultures done, and right into mines, which he definitely needs mines to deal with the tanks, but he might even have to just run by. Oh my gosh, here comes the speed vultures.
There you go.
Almost before the Marines get in the bunker, but he is gonna run by. So it's almost a base trade type scenario. Let's see what happens here. Only 2 vultures made it out. And Meek Terran already hammering on the front door of Disitac. And then it is going to be 2 factory versus 2 factory. If Disitac can hold this push, I think Disitac should be in the better position, seeing as his economy is already quite better than Meek Terran's as far as the SCV production. But he's got to deal with this push, because if you're contained as Terran, it doesn't matter really how many units you have. It's just so hard to break a contain in TVT. So let's see if Terran or Meek Terran can set that up. So far, getting really close here, and actually those tanks might be in range of that CC at the natural. And it looks like they're going to be firing on that gas, and some SCBs already getting some nice damage.
I love how he's leapfrogging with the bunkers. So he's
Yeah,
just getting
really,
a little bit at a time.
That's so true. That's definitely a very good support building with these Marines, but they don't just get picked off. And here comes Disitac sending in the SCVs to try to take down this contain. Can he do it? I don't know with those bunkers. Meek Terran might have held, and he's got plenty of SCVs to body block them from the tanks. Really nice position here for Meek Terran, man. Wow. That's going to be very hard to deal. It's going to be forcing that natural to lift off. And this was the play Meek Terran definitely needed. He even sniped a lot of SCVs on that, which almost evened out the SCV count from what it was before. More units rallying across the map from Meek Terran, man. This pressure is so much pressure for Disitac to deal with. However, Disitac not out of this game just yet. He could even go for a counter drop if he just wants to start to hold with his own tank line, but he doesn't really have a lot of factory production to do so just yet, so definitely in a bit of a pinch, but not over yet. Meek Terran working his way forward though, slowly but surely leapfrogging. Luckily Disitac's tanks took down one of those bunkers, which is very nice. Meek Terran getting that eBay to give his tanks a little bit more vision so that they can actually get the full range of their attack. Oh, but does
Oh,
he has the eBay before? He actually might be able to kill the tank, but not quite. Two tanks get blown up there with this one tank with 12 HP still alive. Oh, but one of them gets sniped, man. Meek Terran looking to really end it, but another tank goes down for Meek Terran. Is Disitac gonna hold? He's got the one tank left with 12 HP. He's got to be so careful, but he has the vision. Oh, and he's gonna tap. Oh, what a game for Meek Terran, man. That was as close as it can get, man. One tank to one tank. Not badly handled from Disitac. I think he almost cleared that contain, actually.
Look at how close the scores are. It was like 19,000 to 17,000.
No kidding, huh? Wow, what a game, man. What a game. Nice push from Meek Terran. Well done and well executed.
Indeed,
And
yeah.
these games, bro, they're so close.
It looks like that looks about as volatile as a PvP does.
No kidding, huh?
It's like
At
one false
least,
move, man.
right? At least we didn't get into the stalemate 1 hour long game.
All right, and for game 2, we are putting 1 point on the board for Meek Terran. And for game
Okay.
2, we are going to Terraform.
Alrighty, one on the board for Chonky Cheesers. Looking to take the series for T3 of the night. So let's see, Rice Hat had 2 and Sapo had 2. So other than losing that game, it was tied, right? And then Meek Terran Disitac just lost that. So Chonky Cheesers are up 1 game, I do believe.
They are currently up 1 game.
Okay. Let's see if the baked potatoes can make a comeback here.
All right. In the top right of Terraform, it is our red Terran. Disitac playing for the baked potatoes. And in the bottom left, our blue Terran, Meek Terran, playing for the Chonky Cheesers.
Cross map again, man. Cross map. Let's see if Disitac's able to put one on the board here for the baked potatoes. And that was a really cool tank push from Meek Terran. Really cool to see that kind of style that you don't see as much these days. So nice to kind of pull that one out of the hat. Very nice to have in a best of 3 situation. So we'll see what they decide to do this time. Disc attack not going for a wall at the natural this time. Just going to be throwing down that supply
Oh,
depot
there it
inside the
is.
main.
Can't really see it on the screen. I have to zoom in, but Meekterran
Oh,
is
yeah.
also building it right here to block the minerals and the bottom.
Yeah, very nice. And I do like that depot from Meek. I mean, both players' first depot is totally fine. I like that you could get that area blocked from Meek Terran so that if the scouting SUV decides to go behind the mineral line, you might be able to kill it with your Marines at that time and deny further scouting information. But we'll see what happens. Cross spawn. Once again, Meek Terran not going to be going for the 10, 10, 10 this time around. Just going to be throwing down that 12 gas, it looks like. And both players going to be scouting similar timing. Meek Terran a little bit quicker, but not a big deal. Both similar builds, mirror builds on a mirror matchup. Let's see what happens. Both players not going to be getting any sort of first scout, getting a cross scout right away. Sometimes you'll see the players just cross scout immediately for a potential BBS in the middle of the map. Some players like to scout it out that way. And some players just like to wait till they get to the main base to scout it out that way. But no BBS happening this time. And the factory is getting thrown down from both players. Both players pulling 2 SCVs from gas. So far, identical builds. And the SCV going to be getting in for both players. Let's see if that SCV can slip right past this Marine, and it does. Yes, it did in game 1. Man, Dissy Talks SCVs are greasy, bro. I tell ya. Nicely done, though. Dissy Talk going to be going for the 2 Marines with the liftoff, and Meek Terran also going up to 2 Marines. Let's see, does he make a third, or he's just going for the liftoff as well, man. These builds are so identical at the moment. The only thing I'm noticing is Dissy Talk's Vulture is going to be slightly faster, but it's not going to make a difference with the travel time. And he's going to have a slightly faster CC, so, you know, little optimizations can come in to make a big difference overall in the mid to late game, but so far, not too crazy. Looks like Dissy Talk going to be throwing down the 1 Vulture and then an add-on. Meek Terran going to be making at least 2 Vultures before an add-on. Let's see if he goes up to a third. Meek Terran actually might be sending this first Vulture out to try to snipe that SCV on the CC to delay it a little bit. Or he might try to pick off the Marines to allow his barracks to get vision for a longer amount of time. Let's see what Meek Terran is going to be doing with this Vulture here. Does he just run by and go for the SCV, or he's just going to poke in and verify the CC and then go ahead and move back out? Not a bad move. Meek Terran going for the 2 Vultures and then the add-on, followed up by the second factory by both players. Dissy Talk ought to be having a little bit faster upgrades, having that quicker add-on. But both players do have their add-on finished, and there's no upgrade getting started for Dissy Talk, so actually going to be evening out here. I think this might be the Vulture War that I was hoping to see. Both players going up to 3 factory, and you need to pull SCVs off of gas and just have 1 mining and able to afford these 3 factories. But Dissy Talk kept 3 SCVs mining, so he might not be planning on doing the Vulture War, but or he may have forgotten, which can be absolutely a big mistake if you are planning on going into Vulture War. You could just get behind and not be able to forge your macro. Dissy Talk's even throwing down a bunker at the natural, being super safe. Let's see what they decide to do. So far, pretty similar supplies in worker count and army. And neither player... Oh, okay. Dissy Talk actually not making an upgrade from that add-on. I wonder if that's a mistake or he might be just planning on going up to like a quick 5 factory, perhaps. I don't see a armory or anything pointing towards a tank sort of place. Continuing to make vultures. And Meek Terran, he's going to have a speed vulture upgrade advantage versus no speed vultures. So, I mean, as long as Discitalk doesn't move out, he's totally fine. But if Discitalk decides to move out, Meek Terran can micro his vultures with the speed and just pull the SCV away that's getting shot at and take massive advantages there from having the speed versus no speed. Kind of like speedling versus no speedling. But Discitalk's gonna move out with no range upgraded. Just starting the range right now as he moves out. Ooh, this could be scary, man. I think it's gonna be. Oh, Meek Terran actually up on vulture count too. So we'll see what happens when Meek decides to pull the trigger. Maybe he's just waiting for his opponent to attack into him. And it definitely Meek Terran doesn't know, but his barracks sees that factory spinning, so he might actually be thinking that that's the second upgrade, but it's only the first, as we see here. Oh, okay, Discitalk gonna be getting that fast armory with a very fast +1. So I see the reason why he wanted to save and start banking up that gas is he wants to transition into Tank Goliath very quickly after this Vulture War happens. But here we go. Meek Terran going to be moving out with these vultures. And we'll see what happens. Discitalk taking a nice defensive position with the barracks to spot the move out so he knows it's coming. And Discitalk, here we go, going to be engaging Meek Terran's vultures. It looks like Discitalk actually has a very healthy amount of vultures regardless of not having speed. And his speed just finished, so really nice timing there actually. Not going to be taking too much more damage. But Meek Terran does have the map control, even with mines getting done and getting a semi-contain versus potential tanks coming out. And so if Meek Terran can hold this position, it could be very scary once again for Discitalk. But so far, both players continuing the Vulture production for now. Looks like Discitalk starting to make that Goliath tank transition.
Maybe trying to go up to, I don't know, maybe 5, 6 factories, I would say.
Oh, yeah, he is throwing down another factory. Meek Terran throwing down 3 add-ons, going to be going straight into tank production with this semi-contain. But those vultures actually slipped by Meek Terran, and he might be able to get a semi-contain of his own. So this is very, very funny looking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both players got a similar kind of contain on each other, semi-contain, rather.
Yeah, vultures are hovering, right? So they don't trip mines.
Yeah, absolutely. And Discitalk actually has a huge number of vultures compared to Meek Terran, and the fact that Meek Terran threw down add-ons on all his factories without having the superior vulture count, it's just gonna be GG. Wow, what a play from Discitalk, man. Could have been a nicer timing to pull the trigger, and he found that perfect timing, man. Really nice game from Discitalk. GG, man. Wow. Gonna be seeing a game 3. I love it. 1 point per team on that one.
And, you know, again, another very close game that was very hard to call one way or another until...
Absolutely. Till the very last minute, right?
Yep.
Wow. Nicely executed there from Discitalk.
I agree.
Very cool approach to the Vulture War.
And you know, it's like you were saying, like you were sitting there like going like, well, he's not upgrading vulture speed, he's not building vultures, I don't see an armory, what's he doing? And then it's like right after you said that,
it made sense, right?
right after you said that, he started building 3 vultures in an armory. And I was like, oh, okay. And then vulture speed, and it's like, oh, okay, I get it now.
That's so cool, man. Very cool to see the different styles added into this kind of approach. So very cool.
I also like I like seeing both players' unique styles. Like the first game felt
Absolutely.
like an early game build edge optimization, And the second
Right.
game felt more like a mid-game one.
Right. Absolutely. I agree. I really like how Dissatalk navigated that. He was set up to transition into Tank Goliath, had that Vulture war failed him,
Mm-hmm.
and then he would have been able to transition really fine. Um, I like what Meek Terran, the idea behind throwing down the three factory add-ons, because that's something I do myself sometimes. But as long as you just have to make sure you know that you're up the vulture count like 100% before you start doing that. Unfortunately, it didn't happen this time. But
Again, it happens.
that's
It's
StarCraft,
StarCraft. Yeah.
right? No
It's
kidding.
it's one of the beautiful things about this game is that it's a game
It
of
really
incomplete
is.
information.
Yep, absolutely. And there's no way Meek really he maybe could have seen, but it would have been so hard to see while you're actually playing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad we get to see a game 3 from these two players. Very cool.
And I gotta say that this map that we're gonna go into on game 3, it's gotta be one of my top maps of NSL7. We're going into Aquamarine in game 3. And
Nice.
what I love about this map is that it's very, if you look at the bases and you look at the base layouts and you look at like the main bridge, it looks a lot like Fighting Spirit.
It
But
really does. It really does.
it's more modern. It feels so much better than Fighting Spirit to play on.
I agree. Because I mean, just the fact that it has another ramp outside the natural, it gives you another opportunity and another pathway
Hmm.
to go through. But you're
And
right, it kind of does have a similar layout to Fighting Spirit.
and one of the things I really like about this map is, you look at what you would call like the natural fourth in all of the bases.
Mhm.
If you're in any kind of a close spawn,
Mhm.
any of these natural fourths could potentially be a hot
Mhm.
spot for conflict.
Oh, very true. Yeah, definitely, like you said, in the close position, that could be an area definitely that you might want to control. So,
Hmm.
very nice observation there. And like if you get contained there, that could just be huge. Not being able to make it across that little bridge or whatever at the natural four.
Yeah,
S-
so I like this map. It's a nice little map. And I gotta say, if this actually replaced Fighting Spirit permanently on the ladder, I would be a happy Protoss.
If any map replaced Fighting Spirit on the ladder, I would be happy, period. So that's just my opinion, but I
All
know a
right.
lot of people still love playing on that map, so
That's true. It is a very popular map. And to this map's credit, it again, it's if you've played that a lot, it's very familiar.
yeah, right, that's true. It's so well like thought out that players I guess I see why they like playing it for so long. So
Um all right. So, game number 3, man, the stakes couldn't be any higher. No pressure to either of
no
these guys.
kidding.
But
Seriously, right?
this is like, I mean, Series 9 and 8, like you said, it's, tied up. You had Chonky Cheesers take the first
Oh,
one in Series 9, Baked Potatoes take Series 8, and then now it's 1-1. It is like
that is
so
insane.
insanely even.
And they're cross map again for the third game in a row in a series. That's pretty crazy, man. I don't know if you call that good luck or bad luck, but it's definitely some kind of luck.
Well, I'm Protoss. I call that great luck. I get to 12
Oh,
Nexus every
okay.
game.
Very nice. Sweet. Oh, that's great.
All right, so in the bottom left, we have our blue Terran, Mick Terran, playing for the Chonky Cheesers.
All right.
And in the top right, we have our red Terran Disattack playing for the Baked Potatoes. This really is like a clash of the Titans, I feel like.
Oh, joke. Well said. I mean, really is. Both these players, legendary and Titany, very Titan, Titan-like. So yeah, both players going to be throwing down that gas again, going into a very standard approach to this game 3, man. I'm very, very interested to see if they choose to go into like a Vulture War kind of style again, or if they mix it up. So far, we've seen different styles out of all the games so far. So, although Dissy Talk has kind of tend to go for that barracks expand with the fast add-on. Although we did see the variation in game 2 where he didn't make the upgrade right away in order to afford some of the other things. So yeah, we'll see what he decides to do this time. Both players starting to pull some workers off of gas, looking to maybe take... Oh, wait, Meek Terran put him back on gas. Okay, maybe just I saw something weird there. Anyhow, going to be taking the 2 SCVs off gas after the factory, as well as Disatalk doing the same thing. So far, mirror builds from both players, and they are both going for the second Marine before the liftoff of the barracks. Meek Terran's SCV not scouting as actively. And Disatalk, can it slip past the Marines? And it does again, man. This SCV.
Wow.
It's so legendary from Disatalk how it makes its way in every single time.
At
That's
6
pretty incredible.
HP, too. Holy crap.
But it did go down, and I don't think he really was able to see a whole lot there. The nice thing he was able to see was the SCVs were pulled from the gas, and he saw the factory and the main, so he knows it's not a proxy or necessarily a one-base play. However, Terran can always decide to put those SCVs back on gas just about whenever they want, so
Oh,
gotta
man,
be
that's
a little
unfortunate.
careful.
Mick
Yeah.
Terran gonna get the last scout. He decided to cross spawn scout.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh,
Very
man.
super late. Last scout for sure. He might. Digitalk potentially could even deny that SCV from even verifying whether there's a CC or not, which is never a good feeling in TBT if you don't know that. But here comes the Vulture. Oh, it's a SCV, and the Vulture followed up behind it. Digitalk throwing down that bunker again this game around and kills the SCV. I think it actually killed it. Maybe I didn't quite see, but right before it got to that natural CC, it's very high possibility that Meek Terran didn't see that. And now Digitalk going to be throwing down that speed for his Vultures right away off of the one factory with the bunker for extra protection. Both players' CC is going to be finishing at the same time. Meek Terran, though, is going to have 3 factories before Digitalk, and it looks like he is planning on going into a Vulture War, even getting mines first before speed, so he might be planning on getting out there and laying some mines for some vision. And he will have the superior Vulture count, no doubt, as long as he doesn't get supply stuck, being on 3 factories. So we'll be seeing what happens very shortly and how Digitalk decides to go about this 2 factory kind of style while still mining with all his SCVs. Actually, Meek Terran puts his SCVs back on gas as well. So both players might have something in the mid game in mind, but we'll see what they plan to do here. Both players continuing to make Vultures, looking like they want to go into Vulture War to start this game off.
I will say that I feel like despite the fact that Mick Terran is going to have 3 factories sooner, Disatalk has been macroing very well off of 1 factory.
He really has. Like, I mean, somehow he's ahead in supply. I think mainly it's a worker count. I think Meek Terran had to sack some SCVs since he kept all 3 SCVs mining on his gas, and you can kind of see both players have a pretty big gas bank right now, which could come in good later once you try to make that tank Goliath transition, perhaps, if
Sure.
that's what they're planning on doing, or maybe they want to add a quick 5 factories even and continue to make vultures. So both things could definitely happen. McTarren's starting to lay some mines out on the map to get some nice vision in the pathing of where the enemy might be coming from. And Disutak getting some scouting information with that barracks as well. Both players now on 3 factories. And like you said, Disutak, man, he had pretty good macro here. I don't know if McTarren was actually able to get too far ahead in the army count during that time that he had the more factories. So
Well, he's definitely ahead. It's well, now it's probably pretty close to even.
yeah, yeah, pretty close to even. But I think you're right. He is slightly ahead, just maybe not like game ending ahead. But it will come down to this micro fight. You know, if the vultures totally get cleared from either side, all of a sudden it opens up a door right into the front of the natural. So here we go. Meek Terran is gonna have the vision with the mines, and he knows right where the vultures are from his enemy. Let's see if he is able to fight him off. Here comes the reinforcements from Meek Terran. Disitalk doing something exactly similar to Meek Terran and laying mines on top of each other in the middle of the map. So now they both have vision of that area and ought to be seeing where the vultures will be coming from. It looks like Disitalk going to be trying to set up a sneak attack, putting these vultures on the side, but he doesn't know that Meek Terran has mines right by his vultures, but those mines just barely don't see the vultures somehow. So, and they both have mines in the middle, so they're going to be trying to be sneaky with each other. And Meek Terran should be a little bit careful about when he moves out, because these vultures definitely looking for a counterattack, but now these 2 mines spot these vultures getting into position. So Meek Terran doing a nice job of just holding this position right outside the natural for now, and going to be going into some tank Goliath transition, it looks like. And Disitalk looking to get into higher factories, and even getting in-base CC, getting ready to take that 3rd base. Ooh, nice little pickoffs from Meek Terran though. Picking off a few vultures from Disitalk, maybe just a little bit of a AI glitch there where some of the vultures just decided to go the wrong way, getting stuck up on the ramp or whatever. But we'll see what happens. Still so far pretty even army count and supply overall. However, Disitalk actually has a fairly nice lead in workers.
Yeah.
And he's about to take his 3rd base.
I
So
think
if
it looks like his macro engine is just starting to kick in. He's now his 4th factory just finished. Although
oh wow,
Mick Tarrant has been on 4 factories sooner.
true. And Disitalk even throwing down an additional 2, looking to go up to 6 factory, and even going into tank Goliath as well. Both players kind of transitioning similar ways, although just slightly different. I think if Disitalk gets away with taking this 3rd base and it goes unpunished, he will definitely start to get a huge economic lead having that extra gas. So, although this area might be opened up for Meek Terran to take his 3rd base as well, so very similar kind of builds on both players. However, Disitalk going to be getting that fast 3rd base. Looks like Disitalk starting to work his way out on the map to get a nice contain here. If he gets the contain here on this bridge in front of Meek Terran, it could be very troublesome for Meek to push his way out, as we saw in game 1 where Meek Terran had the contain on Disitalk and Disitalk wasn't able to break it. All of a sudden Disitalk gets the contain here, and maybe Meek Terran won't be able to break out of it. This is a very nice area for Disitalk to hold in order to take that 3rd base. Very nicely done.
This is
All of a
nice
sudden there's,
positioning too with the tanks. The tanks, if you see, they're
yeah,
just behind the mines here. So all
right. Very nice spread, right?
mm-hmm.
And he has those tanks on almost an exact line. So when Meek Terran's army comes in, those tanks will all get a shot off, you know, which is really nice to have.
And I think we are seeing the advantage of building the in-base CC and floating it over, and also peppering mines in your opponent's third. You know, they're both going for third base, but if you look, though, Disattack is already mining off of his third,
He
well ahead of
is.
Mick Terran.
Right, Meek Terran trying to get these tanks up on the high ground in time. I think he will be able to, just in the nick of time, to stop this army from coming in to bust the third. Really nice timing for Meek Terran to actually get that third up. If he hadn't, he definitely would have been in some trouble, but he is going to get this position. However, Talk has the numbers to still contain the pathway out of this third base. And if you can just keep Terran on 3 base only, all of a sudden the whole map kind of opens up to Disattack, and the thing you only have to look out for all of a sudden is just dropships because you have the contain. So I do like this position better for Disattack overall. Oh, Disattack even throwing down 2 starports of his own, going right into dropships. He's saying, I'm not going to let you drop me, I'm going to drop you first. And so that's looks like that's going to be the approach for Disattack. And like you said, he has that third base mining quite a bit longer than a Meek Terran. Both players look like they have similar upgrades. +2 is really the one that makes a difference. And we'll see who's kind of able to get to that first. Both players haven't really started the +2.
No, I think Disattack's ahead of Mick Terran on the +2.
Yeah, I think. Oh, you're right. I didn't spot that other armory. Okay, my bad. Good call. Definitely a good call there. But Mick Terran looking to break this contain. Does he have enough? He might actually be able to move out.
Nice.
But the reinforcements come in. They'll hold this position. Just in the nick of time, man. Almost had it there, Mick Terran. But he does get a little bit of a buffer here to where he actually might be able to sneak some units out of this contain. Nice mine connection on that tank, though. Really nice trade for both players. I think that was pretty even overall.
I would agree, although I still see a higher supply lead, but that could be that could be because Disattack is macroing out of 6 factories. So yeah, it's pretty even. I would say an army.
Very true. And I think if Disattack, he's getting 3 dropships here. It looks like he's starting to look for a place to put those dropships. And if he finds like the sweet spot, it can be so hard for Terran to deal with. And he's going to be forced to send some army back up his own ramp, which might work against him depending on the spot Disattack finds to drop. But he's got to make it past this turret ring from Meek Terran, which he's setting up nicely. It's not going to be easy for him to find a spot. Meek Terran definitely setting up some nice defenses to make sure that that's not going to happen so easily. Disattack taking the top left base as well for his 4th base.
This is going to be quite a mech drop. This is going to be 5 dropships full of mostly tanks and some vultures.
Yeah, right. That's so many dropships coming in. Oh, he even has 2 in the main that he didn't grab with those as well. So he could have potentially 7 if he groups them together, but
and it's
we'll
also
see what happens.
It's also worth noting that Disattack has a hidden base in the top left corner mining gas.
Right, that's really all you need from the 4th at this point in time anyways, just getting that extra gas. And Disattack really exploding those factories. He wants to play heavy factory kind of style play. So what do we have? 10 factories here from Disattack in no time.
And we're going up to 7 factories for Mick Terran. It looks like the drop is going to try and come to the maybe to the natural, I would say.
Okay, yeah, he's definitely sharking around looking for the perfect spot to drop these units. He might even decide to use these dropships to clear up some of the tank lines from Meek Terran. They don't have any really air support on these tank lines, so he could potentially just drop those dropships right on the tank line and move in with his army. But we'll see what he decides to do here. So
That would
far,
be
oh,
a very Protoss thing to do, just drop on the tanks.
right, you see it. You definitely see it very often in this matchup. Definitely something you got to keep an eye out for. Meek Terran look like he's starting to set up some drop defense, though. He did scan those drop ships, so he's getting some army, and some of these army is actually blocking the ramp, so some of the AI just really bugging out here in
That's
the main for Meek Terran.
oh man, still blocking. That's so unfortunate.
But on the plus side, he will be ready for a drop inside the main if it happens, which Talk is being very, very, very careful with these drop ships. I like the fact that he's being very careful. You don't want to just throw that many units away, and all of a sudden you're not ahead anymore in supplies. So although Talk's still in a really, really nice position here, taking the top left and the natural of that other base, getting those gases. Going to be really nice for his 10 barracks or 10 factory production, excuse me.
Looks like okay, so Meek Terran is probably looking for places to expand.
Ooh, that's a
Nice.
nice little area that he kind of gave himself that buffer to clear that pathway, but this is a huge army coming down from Talk, looking to deny this area. Very nice move from Talk.
And he's splitting the army in half, which is beautiful.
Oh man, the places that Meek Terran can move around on this map are getting slimmer and slimmer by the minute.
Does take out a dropship, but this it looks like that. Wow.
Oh, Cookie Master in the house. Big shout out. What's up? Gotta love him, man. The one and only. Oh,
Thank
but Meek Terran finds the top left with his own dropships that I didn't see him making. Nice little counter move from Meek Terran. And that's always nice when you can shut down a base from your enemy. So still the fact that they're on similar mining bases, this game is definitely not over for Meek Terran. And he might even be able to shut down this second CC.
Wow.
And he actually might just kill the CCs because he has Goliaths, and losing these CCs is not great for Talk, although he still has a nice contain. But Talk getting his dropships in the main of Meek Terran.
Right on the production.
Down, but still gets right on top of the production somehow. Does Meek have enough? I think he does. And he's going to clear it up. Nice defense from Meek Terran, man. Wow. That could have gone so much worse for him had he not been prepared for it.
Wow.
Really nice defense.
And now all of a sudden that failed drop, this game kind of feels like it flipped on its head.
It really kind of feels like that, right? All of a sudden Meek Terran, the supplies have just flipped, and now all of a sudden Meek Terran's ahead in supply, even a bit ahead on worker count. 60 is kind of the max you want to be getting because you want to be having mostly army then. But the main and natural is mined out from Talk. He only has the one mining base at the moment. Looks like the main is mined out for Meek Terran and the natural close behind. So Meek Terran on about 2.5 bases and Talk on about two bases or so. So you're right, it kind of has sort of evened out. Meek Terran trying to take this top left side of the map, but Talk gonna be able to deny it. The superior forces around that area, and Talk still has a very nice contain on Meek Terran, so Meek Terran gonna have to find a way to clear up these tank lines, but there's no anti-air on either of these tank lines, which can just potentially be cleared up by dropping your dropships on top of them. But we'll see if that actually happens or not. They can also just decide to ignore the tank lines and fly right past them. So,
do you think that Talk has a chance to break this this ramp here at Meek Terran's third at all?
you know, you're absolutely right. Like if you kind of ignore the tank lines from one another, all of a sudden they might have just superior units, and I think you might have just called it because Talk is unsieging here. He might be looking to move forward and break this line right as the dropships are moving out and out of position.
Oh no, he's
Oh
moving
no, this
forward.
actually might be really bad for McTerran. He's got to use those dropships and bring him back home. He has no army left here to stop this army from coming in. Oh no, and the Goliath's getting on top of the dropships. Does McTerran have enough in those dropships? I don't know.
I don't
But
think he
Dizzy
does.
Talk,
Oh wow!
I don't think he does. Oh, and Dizzy Talk closing the chokehold on that contain, and he's right outside the natural. Oh, gotta be careful though. That tank on high ground will get massive, massive damage if you're not too careful. You don't have the vision, and you only have to rely on scanners. So Dizzy Talk bleeding a few tanks there, but still has a really nice position here, even taking the bottom left or bottom right, excuse me, as well, while denying any further expansions for Meek Terran. So, I mean, as long as he can keep Meek Terran off of any further expansions, the advantage goes to Dizzy Talk. But this still 100% is not yet over for Meek Terran. Oh, he comes back in for a second round of dropships, looking to clear up the lines, but not enough in those dropships, unfortunately. Not going to be clearing up that line, and here comes a huge army from Dizzy Talk, man. Dizzy Talk looking to close this game out right away. This is a massive, massive army. This is so terrifying to deal with, even with the tanks on high ground. He might just be able to A-move his way through it, and all of a sudden this is looking very scary for McTerran. He's got the battle cruiser, which is going to get some nice damage very slowly, but he might be losing his natural and even losing a lot of his production. You're not going to be able to really go anywhere if he does produce units out of there. So this is a very tight spot for McTerran to be in. Nice move from Dizzy Talk, 100%. Wow, man.
That is a hero Terran Goliath right there. Give that man a medal.
Oh man, McTerran pulling the boys. He knows he's got to make it happen, but this contain is going to be so hard to clear up. I don't know if he can do it, man. Plus these players are on 3-2 upgrades. Dizzy Talk on 3-2.
GG. Wow.
GG, man. What a game.
What a
What a
close game.
Wow.
All
What a
right.
game, right? Unfortunately, didn't have enough in those dropships to clear up that army, and all of a sudden, Distatak just had massive superior forces. But really nice game 3 there, man. Both of these guys, I think, played a really nice series overall. Would love to see him play another one in the future. So
I agree, man.
GG.
And this was, I mean, it felt really close. Look at how close those scores were. It was only like 25,000 points off, which I
Yeah,
feel like
really not bad.
for that long, that's pretty close.
Indeed. Absolutely. We didn't get to see the hour-long TBT this time around, but you know, they're almost set up to be in that stalemate position. Had McTerran was able to creep forward just a little bit more so he could get another base, but
I
just wasn't quite able to.
I don't know. I feel like he was building battle cruisers at the right time, and he had like 3 more on the way before Disattack busted his nap. But
That could have been a
oh
nice way to
man,
clear up those tank lines too, for sure.
I feel like it was just too little, too late with the battle cruisers, unfortunately.
Unfortunate. But good idea from both players and really nice games, man. Hope to see these guys go at it again.
I agree. I would love to see. This was, I mean, that was really, truly. I think that was probably the one of the, if not the best, tier 3 I think I've casted this season so far.
Nice, very nice.
That
Very nice
was
compliment.
what a great series.
Absolutely. And thanks again for having me, Breeze. It's always a pleasure, my friend. You are the
Absolutely.
man.
Thank you so much for joining me as always, AK. It's always a pleasure to have you.
All right. Much love to everyone in the chat. Thanks for stopping by and checking us out. We'll catch you guys next time. Have a good night, Breeze. We'll see you later.
Good night, my friend. All right. And so with that was amazing. It was short and it was amazing. I'm so excited for these games. So awesome. Great series. Shout out to our players today. Rice Hat, Nazy K, Night Dad, aka Dogfart, and Sappho. I'll never get over that name. And of course, the Titans themselves, the Legends, Disattack, and Mick Terran. Awesome series, awesome players. Thank you so much for watching. Stick around though. Next week we have more NSL. We have I believe week 7 coming up next week. And I'm just looking up for a channel to raid. I am looking to throw more StarCraft your way. So if you want to stay tuned, that would be awesome. We will find someone to appreciate. Wow, not a lot of people on. Not a lot of streamers on right now. We have Medino, and we have Cyan SC. I'm gonna go ahead just because we don't have a lot of people on, and I'm gonna give someone I know some love. We're gonna go ahead and raid Cyan SC again. Thank you so much for watching NSL. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed these games, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend and a great week. We will see you next weekend, Friday and Saturday night. Thank you so much, and enjoy Cyan SC. Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe and take care.